If you're watching this video, you likely have student loan debt. For many, it's a weight that follows them long after graduation. I'm Doug Hoyes, a licensed insolvency trustee with Hoyes Michaelis & Associates. In this video, I'll walk you through the latest updates on the rules that apply to student loan debt. Let's start with the basics. What kind of student loan do you have? In Canada, there are two types of lenders. The first is the government. There's the federal government for your Canada student loans, and then of course there's the provincial government, which here in Ontario is OSAP. The other lenders are everyone other than the government, which is often the big banks who offer student loans and student lines of credit. These private loans are common to find for expensive professional programs, like if you're training to become a lawyer or a doctor. Here's the key. If you file a consumer proposal or bankruptcy, a government student loan is treated differently than a private loan. If you get a loan from a bank, even if they call it a student loan, in a consumer proposal or bankruptcy, they are treated the same as every other kind of unsecured debt. They get discharged at the end, just like a credit card or a bank loan. Government loans, however, are different because they are subject to the 7-year rule. In order for your government-guaranteed student loan to be eliminated in your consumer proposal or bankruptcy, you have to have ceased to be a student for over 7 years at the time you file. It doesn't matter when you got the loan or how long your program was. All that matters is when your program ended and you therefore ceased to be a student. So what happens if I got a student loan, went to school, graduated, worked for a while, and then went back to school and got another student loan? Is there a different 7-year period for each student loan? Well, in the past, there were court cases where some judges said there could be 2 different dates, and others said there could only be 1. If provincial courts disagree, how do you decide the issue? Well, you go to the Supreme Court of Canada. And in the spring of 2025, the Supreme Court ruled that there is only 1 date. The Supreme Court confirmed that the 7-year clock for student loan discharge starts ticking from your final day of full-time or part-time enrollment. This is the single date approach. What does that mean for you? Well, if you go back to school, even for a short time, or even if you go back and don't take out any new government student loans, the 7-year period starts when you cease to be a student for the final time. Now, there is an exception to the 7-year rule, the 5-year hardship rule. If it's been at least 5 years since you were last a student, you can apply to the court to have your government student loans discharged, but this isn't automatic. You have to prove to the court that you've acted in good faith regarding your loans and that you have and will continue to experience financial difficulty so severe that you simply can't pay them back. So, what's my advice? First, if you have a government student loan, log into the National Student Loan Service Center portal and confirm your end of study date. You need to confirm your end of study date. It doesn't matter when you think you wrote your last exam. All that matters is the date that is in the government's computer. So you must know that date. If that date is more than 7 years ago, you can file a consumer proposal or bankruptcy and discharge your student loans. If that date is less than 7 years ago, your government-guaranteed student loans will not be automatically discharged if you file a consumer proposal or bankruptcy. If your student loans are large, the correct answer may be to wait until you hit that 7-year mark and then you file. But if you have a lot of other debt, it may make sense to file a consumer proposal now to deal with your other debt, and that may free up enough cash for you to service your student loans. Navigating student loan debt and insolvency can feel overwhelming, but you're not alone. Your next best step is to speak with a licensed insolvency trustee. To learn more, we have plenty of helpful links on our website at hoyes.com and on our Hoyes Michaelis YouTube channel that explain everything you need to know about student loans and debt relief. I've included some helpful links in the description below.